First and foremost, I want to welcome everyone to the PPP community. Okay. I'm excited. We are officially launching the community, and I want to share with you guys right now. There's a lot of eyes on this community right now. Okay. For several reasons. Okay. One of them is because the way it was put together. Okay. Secondly, for what the offer and the value of this community is not being offered anywhere in the school community, period. Not just DGC, the whole entire school community. Okay? So you can see there's no pressure, right? So that's why it's so important that we come together, and then you guys are the pioneer. What does that mean to you? You get additional perks. Okay? Once we hit 100 in the free community, right? Whoever is part of that 100 is going to be the originals. I guess some of you know it as what we call OG, right? OG. All right. Make sure we cater like the older generation, younger generation, middle generation. We cater everybody, right? You're going to hear from some amazing people today. That is very important. Okay. Once the inner circle hits 100, okay, guys, it's gonna go up to 97 a month. That is a promise. There's already more than enough value than $97, trust me. Okay? But right now you're getting a discount. Okay? Not only that, you're getting an amazing promotion, which we'll cover in a second. Okay? So, one of the things that's just very unique in this community for us is that your voice matters. How many of you guys feel that in the community? Just a show of hands. Do you feel like your voice is being heard? Right?
Yes.
What does that mean to you? Anybody want to quickly share? Maybe one or two people. What does that hearing your voice, being able to answer your question means to you?
It's validating that we do matter, when we're given when you listen.
Now, here's a killer. Just a show of hands. How many of you guys know your reaction buttons in your Zoom? You know, like when you raise your hand or you wave your hand. How many of y'all know the reaction button? Awesome. Okay. I want you to raise your hand if you've ever been. Here's the question. Why are you here? Right? Why are you here? She looks kind of stressed, don't she? Number one, right? Here's what happened. You're here because you want to convert, right? Or you're not converting enough, right? Does that make sense? Right?
Yes.
You're here because somehow things are not going the way that you want it to go. Correct? See? Right? You'd like to convert with less effort. How many of y'all like to convert with less effort?
Me.
Yes.
Okay? Because if you got 100 leads and you convert 1 out of 20, you're still converting, right? I mean, you're converting 5, right?
Right.
But what if you could convert 5 with 50? Is it less work? Same results.
Yeah.
Right? Okay? So this is huge. This is very, very important. Okay? Now, let me share with you a little bit about our vision and our mission here at the PPP community. Because to me, this vision, this mission is dear to my heart because some of you guys have been with me a long time. You know where I come from. And you know how I feel and where does the community come in terms of priority. Does that make sense? Right? Just a show of hands, okay? Who has been with me here more than 6 months? Just a show of hands. So we got 3, right? 3. You're included, Eldon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, man. I think Rudy too. Rudy has also been here more than 6 months, right? Is that about right?
I started in December.
Okay, not quite 6 months. Okay, not quite. You're good. You're good. Let me tell you something. Our vision is very simple, and it's always been the same vision. It's just to help 1,000 people build and engage their own communities. Now, I'm not telling you that everybody is community material. That's not what I'm saying. Because when you have a community, there's responsibilities. How many of you guys agree? Right? You got to show up every day for your community, right? You got to give value every day, right? And you got to be consistent. You can't just come on the days you feel good and not come on the days you don't feel good, right? How many of you guys know Pat Riley, right? Former basketball coach. Okay. He has a say. If you work only on the days you feel good, you're basically bounding to make your bed for failure. You're always going to have more days you feel bad than days you feel good. That's life. Okay. We want to build like-minded people. So when you come to the people business, you only have 2 categories of people. I'm going to go almost old school with you guys. How many of you guys are familiar with something called bird dogs? None of you go hunting?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the old term, right? Old term, right? But at the end of the day, you have the bird doggers, and then you have the people who are the hunters, right? Not everybody want to be a hunter, but majority of the people want to be bird doggers. They want to refer, they want to make a little, they don't want to work too hard, but they want to make it worth their time. How many of you believe there's people like that out there? Right? Everybody wants to earn something. Okay? Rule number 1 in our community, you need to make sure you get a ROI, which is called a return on the investment. Okay? This community is designed for you to do that. Okay? I'm not going to go into it today, but there is 17 streams of income available to you, and now soon to be 18. You can't get an ROI on that. That means you're not leveraging what is being offered. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Now, that's the first milestone. The second milestone is to make it pay for itself if there's a monthly reoccurring cost. Okay? That's very important because we don't want you to be burdened down with all these expenses. We want you to see what it takes for you to make it pay for itself. Now, when you have no expenses, you got your return on your investment. At this point, everything is gravy. You guys agree?
Yes.
But you know what? I like different kinds of gravy. Okay? The first gravy I like is the one that covers my phone bill. How many of you guys agree with that? Right? That's a little light gravy. It's not so heavy. It's not so rich. It just gets you to get by. The second type of gravy I like is a little bit more rich. It's got a little beef base in it, right? And that's to help you make a car payment. But the favorite gravy I like, for me, is the one that has onions, mushroom, really heavy on top of a ribeye. How many of you guys like that kind of gravy, right? And that's the gravy that will allow you to pay a mortgage or a rent. Let me tell you the reason why a lot of these folks here that has been with me for 6 months or more is they either achieve all those milestones or most of them. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? Right? Okay. So that's very important when it comes to our vision. Now, when it comes to our mission, guys, we want to help 5,000 members in the free community to master the framework, right, of the basics of digital marketing, which means attracting through number one, their websites and their tools. Okay. This is very important because if your websites and your tools are not attractive, what is a good website with no traffic? It doesn't matter, right? It don't matter how pretty it is. It has to be able to attract. There's a difference between pretty and attract. You guys understand?
Mm-hmm.
It has to attract. It has to connect. Number two, understand the presentation or the webinar strategy, right? That is so important. It's so important. So either you're going to learn to present or you leverage someone who will present for you. We're not asking you to present. We're doing all the heavy lifting for you. Does that make sense? You just have to learn how to market it. Thirdly, is how to show up on a live the right way. Just like this. How do you show up the right way? How do you get engagement, right? How do you get people to come on and be here, be in the meeting? I don't count the number of people who attend. I count the number of people who turn on their camera. That's how I always been. You know, for me to know and be able to look at you in the eyes, to be able to know you're in the meeting, you're not cooking dinner while you're here, or you're not doing other things, right? At least I know you're getting the information. And not only that, you might even catch the transformation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? This is very important. Okay? Now, our safe community is very important. In fact, today, I'm going to tell you, you guys are in good shape. She's feeling good. Does all of you know who that is?
You.
ChatGPT.
No. My dear network marketing mother. She's feeling good today. Say, Cynthia, would you care to share to them what it means to you to have a safe community and what was your experience in regards to having a safe community?
I have worked with Coach Kim for a long time, and this community has been very awesome for me to be able to connect and know that it's a safe community, so that if someone signs up and I referred them, I don't have to be concerned that someone else gets the credit. It's happened to me with my first sale with the legacy community. When I referred someone, they clicked on the wrong link, and Kim was able to catch it with his VAs and make sure that I got credit for that sale. I mean, $900 is $900. You don't want to have it misplaced and someone else get the credit for it. So it's really been reassuring that I can safely refer people to the community and I still get credit. So I'm able to help people and not be afraid.
And you know something about safe community, guys? It helps you generate results even though everything is not perfect.
Hmm.
And that's the key. That's the key. Okay? Because of that safe environment, we were able to earn your trust, your like, and your know enough to refer people, even though everything is not 100% set up. Does that make sense, guys?
Mhm.
And a lot of it has to do with the 17 now to be 18 streams of income. It helps too. Okay? Some of you guys are already earning reoccurring. Does that make sense? How good does it feel, Martha, to earn reoccurring? I'm going to share with you, Martha, your referral pulled the trigger quicker than you on the response. And I think today she's having a good day.
We'll have to talk later, Arlene.
You got it. Number two, guys, safe community equals to reoccurring currency for those who commit to the community. That's exactly what you just heard from 2 to 3 individuals. Okay? This is huge. Now, I want you to hear it from some of our members, right? First, from Eldon. Eldon is in San Diego, California. And I'm going to tell you the commitment of this gentleman, okay? I'm not saying that is what you have to do. Absolutely not. But this gentleman is so hungry, okay? And I'm going to let him share with you a little bit about himself, but I'm going to ask him a couple questions, okay? Eldon, you've
Yes.
been fired your boss for God knows how long, right?
Yes. Since
Would you say we're talking at least
1966.
3 decades?
Yeah.
So you don't know what a boss is, correct?
Right.
Okay. But would you agree that people that have no boss, they have different issues, correct? It may not be money issues, but it's different issues, right? Just like poor people have certain issues, rich people have certain issues. Does that make sense?
True.
Now, what does this community mean to you? And why is it that you're so committed to get everything in place and you show up every single day, Monday through Saturday?
Well, I think for me, I didn't know anything about the community or how it's run, but I've been watching the videos and one-on-one teaching is the best way to learn. Plus, when you do it over and over again, it sinks in. I want to help other people uh, get involved in this community so they can make money also and become millionaires. And
Awesome.
yeah, I've got friends and families that I really want them to jump in and do something.
Let me ask you, Eldon, what is your goal this month in terms of how many people you want to subscribe to the free community?
I would like to get probably 10 to 20. I don't know if I'm going to make it all, but you've got to set your goals and work at it and try to help other people. When I talk to other people, I talk about our our community and all of the education that we get out of this, and no other communities and AI are doing any of that. We are maybe 6 months, a year, or 2 years ahead of everybody because the organization Kim is taking time to make all these videos and sharing with us what to do to make us a success in the community.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, let me ask you guys this here, okay? This right here that is being put together, okay? We want to make sure that you show up right. We don't want you to be out there and looking like everybody else. We want you to stand out. That's the main thing. We want you to stand out. The next person I want you to hear from is very dear to me. You know, we've gone through ups and downs. We watch each other grow in life, right? And she has no clue who I'm about to call her. And that's no other than Mia, right? Let me tell you guys, okay? Commitment is there. Every now and then she gets some distractions. But you know what? She always know where home is. And I want you to hear from her because she's going to share with you. And I don't have to ask Mia to prepare. Mia is always talking to you guys from the heart. Always. I've never heard her speak without speaking from the heart. But Mia, if you could share with those people a little bit about your ups and downs in business, right? Coming from the network marketing world to the traditional business owning world, right? The type of support that you may have received and the type of support you may not have received and what this community means to you, right? That would be great for them to hear. And I think that right there will tell you why me has been with me here the longest with Cynthia.
Yes. So I, by trade, by profession, I have a spa, and I'm an esthetician now for 20 years. But it's can be a challenging to really streamline and duplicate a lot of the things that we as business owners we just don't always have time for, which is the marketing or the website design or the funnels. And that's something that I initially had met Kim actually at a John Maxwell Faith Over Fear with Ray Higdon. And when we were there, he was explaining to me and provided so much value about his knowledge of systems and duplication. And that was something that I was missing as an entrepreneur. And so I looked at other streams of income with direct sales and multi-level marketing, and had gained a lot of success with my air and water purification business. And at the height of COVID, I probably had about 2,500 members, and I was making six figures a month. But just because you make a lot of money, it's all, as Kim says, is, how much of that can you actually save? Or, and I didn't really realize how quickly that could be taken away from me. And so, it was very humbling to be in a position now where I'm starting.
Uh-oh. Internet. Can you guys hear me still? Or is it me or is it Mia?
Showed me so many
Okay.
ways that I can transform and reinvent myself. And it's really through this automated system that he's created, using very simple techniques to show and say, this is how you can actually create a video, or this is how you can actually work with Canva. And there's no one out there that is actually doing that, like step by step. And the amount of value and what I was looking to pay for hiring a business coach, which would have been like $35,000 when I first met him, is something that he provides, which is just a fraction of the cost. And the amount of time that he dedicates to me and is always available is really something that I have not found anywhere else. So I'm really grateful for Kim and his ability to just see me and really hear me and what I need to grow and to transform, which really is a systematic duplication way that he has figured out. And it's just so amazing to see that I can actually do that as well.
All right. I'm going to give you guys a quick peek here. I'm going to give you guys a quick peek on some of the things we've been working on. Okay. So I'm going to go here. I got to move this gizmo out of the way. Okay. So for those of you guys who came in late or not late, the now side tool will always be around. Okay. But now we're able to give you the ability to make it pay for itself, where a lot of you are not able to do that. Okay. So, but we went ahead and this is Arlene. So this is Arlene. Okay. This is her invitation page. Okay. As you can see, right? That's why Arlene is excited today. This is the invitation to the Tuesdays, right? Or even if you invite to the workshops, it's okay because it goes straight to the same place. It takes them directly to the Zoom link, right? So that way they're able to log in, okay? Then we also have, hang on a second, I gotta move this gizmo out of my way. Then we have Elmo, we have Eldon. Eldon has one too. And then we have, see, Arlene, Mia, and myself. Okay, so if you want one like that, get with me. What I need from you is I need a crazy looking picture of you, half body. Okay, something that looks like you're like in a wow moment or something you do crazy, not your normal serious self. Okay, um, you send me that within 10 minutes. I'll have the same link for you. Is that fair? Fair? Okay. All right. Remember, I don't want that picture that looks like you had a desk job. Okay. I want you that you've done something you never done before. Just keep it professional. So this is pretty awesome. Okay. Um, one of the things I want to share with you guys before we do the walkthrough in the community, okay, is that this is our main frame. This is what we're going to talk about next week. Okay? This is what we're going to talk about next week. The framework that converts. We're going to explain to you the definition between awareness, consideration, decision, and currency. This is going to be our topic next week on Tuesday. Okay? So that to give you guys a little bit of awareness, right? You know, here's a question you got to ask yourself. Are you selling or are you sharing? Right? Not a product here, your actual experience. Okay? Like from the few people who just spoke, I know some of you could connect to what they said because there was no selling. It was just sharing an experience. Then, are you telling someone or are you inspiring someone? There's a big difference between telling them about something and inspiring them about something, right? Then your pain point. How many of you guys are tired and you're not getting people to opt in to your website? Okay, here's a question you got to ask. If your pain point, is it strong enough to connect? Does it sound like the real you? Or does it sound like a bot? Or does it sound like you on a good day? You know, you're sharing a pain point and then you're smiling. That don't work. You gotta look sad when you're sharing your pain point, right? Is it strong enough for someone to make a decision? We're not talking about a big decision here. We're just talking about a decision to opt in. Does that make sense, guys? Right? And the currency, we talked about it earlier. Do you want to do it twice amount of leads or half amount of leads? Big difference between twice and half. Does that make sense? Right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to give you a quick walkthrough of the community. So let me go ahead and minimize this. Oops, what did I just do? Okay. Oh, I see. Hold on. See, you don't have to be technology savvy. Okay. Stop share and reshare. That usually works. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Mhm.
All right. Good stuff. Let me kill this. All right. Let me go ahead and bring back up the browser. Let's go ahead and minimize Canva. And let's go right into the community. All right. Community. I can't see my tabs. Here we go. Community. All right. So going into the community, let me go ahead and blow this up. Okay. First thing is when you come into our community, you're going to be able to see the dashboard, right? Now, one of the things I want you to know is when you first come here and you haven't signed up yet, you're going to be seeing our billboard. So this is what someone sees before they join, okay? This billboard right here says everything about our community. I just got the final approval for the testimonials, right? They're going to be up by midnight tonight, all in here. So they're going to be able to see the testimonials of certain members in our community, okay? And we're going to keep adding to that. The reason we want those, this helps you brand yourself, each and every one of you, regardless of what product you sell, regardless of what service you sell. How many of you guys agree that it doesn't matter the product or service you sell, if they don't trust you, they're not going to buy anyways?
True.
So why don't we work on earning the trust first? Does that make sense, guys? Right?
Yes.
I can build you, I can edify you, but I cannot make people trust you. You have to earn that. Clear? Right? That's clear? Right? So once they go past here, they get to go into our community, right? So when they go into our community, the first thing they're going to look at is the comment feed. And what you want to pay attention to is the first 3 pinned comments. Usually what's the most recent, the most exciting things going on in the community. Does that make sense? Right? One thing that you will never see removed from here, but only updated, is the verse of the day. One thing I'm excited in our community is it's majority Christians. To me, that's a very dear thing because Cynthia knows, you know, not long ago, my faith was not as strong. And to overcome, my faith became stronger within the last 5 months. I'm human. I'm just like you. Believe it or not. I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way. You know, y'all feel like I'm a robot or something, right? But it's okay. I am human like you, okay? And then guess what? What do I do in the morning when I come into this community? I make sure that there's no blue comments on my feed, at least on my first page. So I am constantly in the community because I want to make sure that all of you are being heard. Do you understand? Everything happens for a reason, okay? The next thing I make sure is that all of these are addressed. All these red circles, I make sure they are taken care of. Whether it is a direct message, whether it is an update in the community or an update in another community, I make sure those are taken care of. For me, this is like checking my emails, checking my texts. I don't have to think about it, it happens. Because I check it 3 times a day. I actually block time on my calendar and I check it 3 times a day. I don't just go and check it all the time. I gotta get work done. Does that make sense? Right? So I block a certain 3 times in a day, and I take 30 minutes to an hour, and I make sure they're because some of them require to create content to respond, right? So guess what? So if I'm create content to respond, it also becomes a video. So it's part of my 3 piece of content that goes out on the media. Does that make sense? You see? So I'm killing multiple birds with one stone. That is how you relate. That's how you connect with people. Go ahead, Martha.
Could you explain how that becomes a video if you're on the community
Well, let's say
responding?
let's say for instance, you ask me and say, All right. How do I invite? Or what am I inviting to? Right? You'll see a video go, it says, why is it important to leverage a community? And then right there, we'll break down how to invite. And if you need some help, boom, we'll send you the information to the community. That's a video.
So you make a video on TikTok in response to my question.
I don't focus on a specific platform. That video is going on 5 different platforms.
Okay,
Remember,
thank you.
most of the time, automation is what posts for me. The repurpose IO, right? We're not going to go into it today, but that's what does the work for me. I tried to do the less work as possible, but I try to make it count in as many places as possible. Okay? So the next thing the new person's going to check, right? They're going to get that welcome email, right? They're going to get a welcome email, and then they're going to go through the steps. But that's going to lead them to our classrooms, right? The first 6 classrooms are the most important classrooms. The first one breaks down, and we're going to keep refine tuning it, right? I highly recommend that you keep going there to check to see if there's any new stuff. But most of the time, when I put something new, it automatically posts in the community that it was updated. Does that make sense? Right? There's a lot of great stuff that I can think of that we could still put in the start here classroom. Okay? Then we want to make sure the voice is heard. That's where number 1 is, which is the leaderboard, right? When they see that and they feel that, it makes a big deal for a new person. And then comes the 30-day challenge. First 7 days is crucial. Right now, I know Rudy has completed the first 7 days. I know Martha is working on it, right? But I'm going to tell you, the more of you who catch the value from the first 7 days of the 30 days is what's going to make it effective for us to have you experience day 8 through day 30. Until then, it don't matter if I have day 8 or day 30 if you can't even catch the first 7 days. How many of you guys agree? Right? Otherwise, it'd be me and Rudy doing 8 to 30. While you guys are watching our content. I just want you guys to know. Rudy, was it hard for you in the beginning to create content?
Absolutely.
How has it become easier for you?
Taking it step by step and watching the trainings over and over again until I get it.
Awesome, man. You're doing a great job, buddy. You're
Thank you.
definitely next upcoming. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, I've watched Rudy transform from where he was before he met us to where he is today. Tremendous amount of growth. Tremendous amount of growth. Okay. Then you have the ecosystem. The ecosystem breaks down all 20 modules, right? So you understand where they fit in. One thing that I'm getting ready to add in the ecosystem is this 18 streams of income. So you guys will get a breakdown on that. Does that make sense? Right? Then comes in digital marketing, which is the legacy. I can think of a lot of things to revamp in that classroom alone. Okay? And guess what? We're going to continuously improve. If you're not continuously improve, in my opinion, you're not growing. Does that make sense? Right? You're not growing. Okay? And then comes in the inner circle, guys. When you go into the inner circle, you're going to see the full breakdown of what is entail for $80 a month. You see the full breakdown. Okay? So at the end of the day, we have amazing perks in this community. Okay? Going back here to the end here. Okay? We have amazing perks in the community. Oh, I did it again. Okay, my screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, I got it this time. All right. My screen. Share. Oh, why is not sharing? Come on, Kim. What did you do? You broke it? Give me a second. Okay, now we can share again. All right, we're back on square one. All right, here we go. So we're gonna expand that. So at the end of the day, guys, if you want to come to our community, this is the website that you go to. You're gonna be able to join our community, but I'm actually gonna walk you through it. Okay, so when you type in Building with Kim Community, right, it's going to take you here. Okay. So I'm going to type in Building Kim Community. It's going to take you to this page. Okay. Now, a couple things I'm going to change on this one. I'm going to remove my picture. Okay. We're going to give you guys a screenshot of the community as the background. Does that make sense? Right? We're going to give you a screenshot and we're going to change the verbiage. Okay. This verbiage is more for the legacy, so we're going to change this more towards the community. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to be doing that within the next 24 hours. Okay. But right now, when someone comes in here, guys, let's say I go ahead and put in my name. And I go ahead and put in my email. And I go ahead and put in my phone number. And I go ahead and access it. Okay. Another thing I'm going to add there is who referred you. I'm going to add that in there. Okay. When they come here, they can do one of two things. Okay. If you want to make it easier for you, have them watch the minute 35-second video. This video is designed to do the heavy lifting for you. Most people do not need more explanation after they watch the video. Don't tell them to go watch it. My secret to you, here's your number one hack. You watch it with them. It's only a minute and 35 seconds. What could you be doing possibly that you don't have a minute and 35 seconds to spend with your potential guest? Does that make sense? Right?
Yes.
Once they watch the video, 95% of the people are going to choose option A. 5%, like Eldon, right? They're going to go and say, I want everything. I want to live every day as if that day is my last. Eldon enjoys life. Does that make sense, guys? But he also wants the most out of life. Okay? I'm in the same boat as he is. Most of you guys know. I've been in remission now for close to 13 years. Okay? So when we look at life, when we look at the day or the sunrise, we look at it different than most people. Does that make sense, guys? Okay? And then when they click here on A, now, if you're doing this on a mobile device, this is another common thing that comes up. If you're doing this on a mobile device, in most cases, it will ask you, will you allow the pop-up blocker? Because it's taking you to a second page. So you need to say, yes, allow the pop-up blocker so it could take you to the next page. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Right? Now, it's going to take you to the about page. One or two things is going to happen here. If a person never been in school, the platform that we build our community on, then they will need to build a profile before they can access the community. Help them with that. Help them. It's very simple. It doesn't have to be perfect because you can go back and you can edit it. The objective that you want to explain to your potential guests is, let's get through this so you can get in the community. You can come back and edit your bio. You can come back and add in a picture at a later time. Does that make sense? And then once they're there, it's going to ask, do you want to join the community? You click join, and it's going to ask you 3 questions. Outside of your name, it's going to ask you, what is your email? What's your phone number? And who referred you? That is very important because this is what my VAs go by in terms to make sure that same thing happened to Cynthia. Make sure that you get credit where credit is due. Does that make sense, guys? Right? To us, it means a lot. Some community, it doesn't. But to us, that's like up in the top 3 priorities. Okay? So that is how you refer someone in the community. Hopefully that answers your question. It looks like I did pretty good because I still got 1 minute to spare. So does anyone have any questions? Is that a question, Ronnie, or is that just a raised hand? Cool. Anybody has a question? Did I do a good job for you guys?
Excellent job.
All
Hey, Kim,
right.
put your link to that community in the chat, would you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know Dr. Andrea has to go, but I'd love just to hear from her real quick before she has to go, since she's
Yeah.
very new in terms of what she's looking for in the community initially.
Sure.
Yes. Thank you, Mia, for the invitation. I really appreciate that. It's so exciting. I love the presentation. I'm already at school. I'm part of a school. I think is a way to go when we are talking about building community. And I hope I can have another time to interact more with you all. But I have a daughter and I need to put her to bed. It's dinner bath time at this time here. So my apologies. I wasn't the camera on and off all the time. I couldn't stay present all the time, but I was listening attentively. And I
Thank
like
you.
the way everything you mentioned about the step by step. This is what everybody needs, right? This step by step. I'm familiar already with Canvas and social media, but I think this is what freaks people out. Oh, I don't know how to create a post. I don't know how to make a video. And I think this is very valuable when you can offer all this step by step. And I'll keep in touch with Mia. And of course, I will be part of the community as well.
So the link is in the chat in case you
I'm
need
going
the
to copy before I leave. Yes,
right. The
otherwise I
link is
won't
in the
have
chat
it.
for everyone. Okay. And thank you for coming on with the camera, Dr. Andrea. Thank you so much. Okay.
You are
And
welcome.
everyone, have a productive week, guys.
Thank you. Likewise. I'll
So
see you all in the
I
community.
expect the community, the free community, to hit 75 by next Tuesday.
Okay.
And I expect the community to hit 100 by the following Tuesday, if you guys are engaged.
Sure. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
All right. Y'all take care. Y'all have